Now, the London Independent reported, and they've had top security experts on, the headline is, "Are planned airport scanners just a scam?" New technology that Gordon Brown relies on for his response to the Christmas Day bomb attack has been tested and found wanting. The explosive device smuggled in the clothing of the Detroit bomb suspect would not have been detected by body scanners set to be introduced in British airports, an expert on the technology warned last night. And again, I will state the key. Mainstream television and newspapers cannot show you the real images. There are thousands of them online put out by the security companies. You can see every hair, every freckle, every fold of the male and female genitalia. Put it back on screen for people. And we have two key articles written by Paul Watson today that are up on prisonplanet.com. Alex Jones calls for mass resistance to implementation of body scanners. And, of course, airports set to become primary peddlers of child porn. And we show you what the scanners really do, and you need to show everybody you know. It's one thing that you know about this. Taking action is what empowers you and what gives us victories, just like we had over the global governance formation in Copenhagen, just like we had over the flu. That whole fear-mongering event has been a complete defeat for the enemy. All the evidence and lawsuits and their attempts in New York and Massachusetts to make it law, to make you take the shot, failed. They tried to set that precedent. They failed. And if you take action, they will fail again. Now, there's another key story we posted at prisonplanet.com, and I've seen countless reports the last 2 years from universities and top scientists. We're lining a bunch of them up for the show. Full-body scanners to fry travelers with radiation. The studies show that the X-ray type radiation is high-powered and can break up the DNA strands in the body. No kidding. It's also dangerous for the operators that run these systems. But again, I just showed you that photo of the naked woman in the body scanner. They always show the images on the news of someone with a gun or a knife. With these scans, the image is everyone that's scanned is guilty. That's the subconscious image that is put out there. I also want to add that the new body scanners break child porn laws in England and clearly in the U.S., and the London Guardian and the government admits that. Here's the article from the Guardian. New scanners break child porn laws. Now, remember this article I covered on Sunday's show? Microsoft seeks patent for Office Spy software where everyone will wear a bracelet that tracks their heart rate, their mood, a earpiece that tracks their brain waves. This is medicalizing everything, making everyone be medically listed for something. They want to make all new cars. I saw this 6 years ago, GM, Toyota, with a digital camera scanner that picks up signs in the face of you're tired. It will dial the cell phone in the OnStar system and call police to come arrest you. I know people arrest and charged with DWI-like crimes all over the country. I know people personally in Austin for the cops saying they're tired. You get off work at 4 a.m., they say, "Hey, you tired?" "Yeah, I'm tired." Boom, handcuffs, making everybody a criminal. Also, these are similar radiation to CT scans, CAT scans. They're putting in airports passive brain scanners at a distance that pick up your brain waves. That's been done in multiple airports around the U.S. and Europe since 2002. CBS News also reports new focus on danger of CT scans. Again, we mentioned how Chertoff and others are making millions of dollars apiece, billions total, off of, as the head of Homeland Security and the new head of Homeland Security, ordering these when they're also invested in the companies. That's in the Boston Globe as well. Meanwhile, the TSA is countering. Washington Post tries to assuage privacy concerns about full-body scans. Already shoeless, beltless, it has come to this, and waterless. More beleaguered air passengers will be holding their legs apart, raising their arms, and effectively bearing it all as they pass through U.S. airport security checkpoints for the full body scan. And notice, they could have you put your hands out or out and down to get the scan. It's hands up, the symbol of I submit, I'm a criminal. That's the psychological message there. And so they're now trying to say, oh, we're protecting you. Oh, we're taking care of you. Oh, we've enslaved you for your own good. Obama's playing the part of the big daddy out there saving us, doing this for all our own good. He doesn't want it to happen, but they've got top U.S. generals. I've got 2 articles on that on the news the last 2 days saying an airliner will be blown up in the next 100 days. We will be hit by terrorists. You better give up all your rights. Continuing here, I'm going to keep putting that image of the naked woman in the scanner, cutting to another TSA photo of a woman in the scanner with the man looking at the scanner of her naked body with a smile on his face. A picture does tell a million words, not 1,000. Continuing. They are isolating us all. They are training us to be hopeless. They are training us to submit to them. They are training us incrementally. No water, no milk, no baby food, no shampoo. Take your belt off. Take your shoes off. All acts of submission. Now you have to put your hands in your lap on the flight. Can't put a blanket over your lap. There's national events if somebody has diarrhea in the head on the airplanes. Obama's notified of a man in there for 20 minutes defecating. Again, just this culture of fear and everybody's scared and only Big Brother can save us. As they profit off of the control systems, not only at the top, but all these blue-collar workers that can't get jobs now can get jobs in the TSA, which admits they're rolling out nationwide and in England as well with mobile body scanners, pulling up to bars, forcing everyone through it. Arresting people for no reason. There was an Austin case a few years ago, and it goes on all over Texas, where they come into, in one case, the Radisson Hotel. The guy was a business traveler. They watched him drink 3 beers at the counter. They arrested him for intoxication when he was at a hotel, didn't even have a car. Again, all about getting us in the system, making everyone a criminal. Conditioning us to accept all of this abuse, setting up the face scanning cameras, the license plate reading cameras. They biometrically scan you with this body scanning system. Now they can, with passive scanners on the streets, already going in, shoot through your clothes and get your true identity because they match the scan with your personal ID when you go through the plane, when you go through the checkpoint. So again, mass humiliation, mass public humiliation. The TSA employees themselves, unless they've hired the most horrible criminals like Homeland Security has for their private prisons, and like the Pentagon hired jail guards with histories of rape and abuse, that came out to run Abu Ghraib and hundreds of other camps around the world who like to rape people. The sexualization of torture, that all came out. All the torture based around raping people's children in front of them. The Army's own report, General Tagumba's own report. In fact, pull up Army's report on torture, MSNBC, General Tagumba, put that on screen. People won't believe it. Raping children with battery acid, raping children in front of their parents. You go read the Army's own report. Okay, so we have all of that going on. We need to discuss how we boycott them, the most successful and focused way to do it. I will not be taking any pleasure flights. I never do anyways. I've never allowed my children to fly because stuff like this could happen. They could be tasered, they could be killed, anything. But you need to cut back on business, do more teleconferencing. Let the airlines know every time you don't fly, you did it because of this. Because here's the key to the legalese. They say it's a privilege to drive a car. They say it's a privilege to fly, a privilege to own a gun. All of that is a lie. In the 1920s, heavy trucks began to drive on the roads. So they went to people in New Jersey and New York State and said, don't you want a tax on these truckers making all this money? The public said, oh, yes, we don't want them making money. We're greedy. You know, they played that psychological divide and conquer tactic. And so they made truckers get a license. Then by the 50s, everybody had to get a paper license. Now they put points on it. Now they restrict it. Now it's a national ID card through the Real ID Act. Now they have a hemispheric North American Union ID card you can get to travel in North America. We're already going into this system. Commerce on the roads, they've passed laws, is a privilege to go get a commercial driver's license, not to get the regular license. But same thing with the airports. They go into the big airport companies, government paid for, government facilities with private contracts. They go to the big private airlines. Notice private aviation, general aviation, private jets, private Cessnas, Learjets, they don't have to do this. It's because of deals made with the private corporations. They gave the airlines $25 billion in 2002 as the payoff to agree to all of this. They give them billions more each year. They pay them to lobby and to accept, saying it's our policy. And the feds come in out of their jurisdiction, taking over the airports as their jurisdiction unlawfully, and make you go through all these different screening procedures and naked body scanners now. Do you see how they're operating? Do you see how they're getting away with this? Because they make the deal with the airlines to force you to do it. Then the TSA expands to the trains, to the malls, to the streets. They have TSA Viper teams in Houston running checkpoints, in Miami, Florida, in New York City, suddenly at New Year's Eve events in L.A. and New York and all over the place. Troops, regular troops are out there, troop checkpoints, National Guard, searching people, wanding them. Just more and more conditioning, more and more bringing you into this.